So I cut down what I'm going to say. Northampton faces a number of big questions. What is public safety? And how do we deal with the harms of traditional policing models? How will we build resilience hubs and new departments of community care? How do we include residents in decisions like the removal of cherry trees? And not just the metaphorical heart of the city, but literally planning what will the heart of the city look like with a redesign of Main Street for everyone. The best solutions don't come top down. The best solutions don't come from a small number of people making decisions. The best solutions come from a community coming together and a government that not only permits people to speak, but actively encourages and fosters community input. And it's transparent about its decision-making process. And that's where Jesse comes in. Jesse's committed himself to doing all of that. For those who don't know, my name is Cannity. I served as a co-chair on the Northampton Policing Review Commission. And while I frequently interacted with Jesse during the course of that commission, I first met him during public comment even before the commission was formed. Even in 3-minute snippets, I was impressed by his ideas and his presence. I was impressed by his focus on bringing people together, by asking about community. And he understands that government only works well when it's guided by, involved with, and responsible back to people. I got to hear for Jesse's calls for bringing us together as a community to involve marginalized people in the process of governance and committing to do the work to becoming inclusive. And that's real work. Jesse's done that. He's spoken frequently about the need not just to change the way we deal with people who are housing insecure, how we deal with people in mental health crisis, how we treat race in the city. He offered ways to build the bonds that we need and the community that we need, and how to create that togetherness. How do we make sure that everyone has the chance to feel safe without sacrificing people's dignity and respect? And he's always willing to listen to, defer to, and uplift people with lived experiences. Over the course of dozens, maybe hundreds, what feels like thousands of meetings with activists, community leaders, organizers, local business owners, and advocates, Jesse's continued to show the best of his traits, his listening. He listens deeply and meaningfully. In public spaces, he uses his position to amplify voices of marginalized people. He speaks with them as a conduit for community voices. He doesn't speak at anyone, and he continues to strive to find ways to forward together without leaving people behind. Jesse has spent time giving himself a crash course in local politics and how Northampton government works, the powers of city council and the mayor's office, and where the power to make change happens. But he didn't do it to lift himself up, and he didn't limit himself to working with just people who looked like him or had the same beliefs as him. And Jesse did all of this work while also running a restaurant during the pandemic, working at a local bookstore, organizing and giving back to the community, serving on councils and public bodies, showing up for public meetings around public safety, and moving Northampton forward. He's tirelessly involved in Northampton as a community, and he spends his time building that up. Whew. I spent hours canvassing, and I had the opportunity to see Jesse in action, how he interacts with his neighbors, and how his interactions always involve asking about concerns, thoughts, and experiences. He doesn't tell anyone how they should feel, but accepts them where they are. Jesse isn't focused on making grandiose statements or deciding what is best unilaterally. Instead, he looks to find ways to bring in more voices and perspectives. He is, in a very literal way, bringing us together as a community so we can move forward. I'm so excited to see all of you here, ready to be involved, ready to elect Jesse Hassinger to the Northampton City Council. And before I go, because I've kept this brief, I'm giving everybody homework. You have 3 things that you should do. Talk to Jesse, reach out to him, ask questions, share your experience, talk about your dreams for Northampton. Get involved, donate, spread the word, volunteer, and tell your neighbors. And finally, remember to vote. Midterm elections aren't flashy, but they are important. Change can't happen without you. We can't move together without you. And we are in this together with Jesse. Thank you, everybody.